ultimately led to sticking with Riley last week instead of activating Jason? And would you expect the same decision this week?
Yeah. So our decision was just based on everything that we looked at throughout the week. Jason continues to progress, continues to get better. We just felt like it was right to go with Riley, and we'll again do the exact same thing this week, but we'll end up having a decision by Friday.
Greg, the life of a special teams coach. I want to see if I have this right. So the gunner opposite Ethan Bonner.
Yep.
Recently, you go from Elijah to Isaiah to D. Eskridge, and now you're probably looking again. Is that correct?
Yeah, we'll be continuing to evaluate a bunch of players. That's part of the job as special teams coordinator and coaching. We've usually have to flip out a lot of players, especially at the end of the season, injuries, whatever, us taking a look at guys. But we'll continue to evaluate and see how these guys go. Theo Weiss might be another guy that we give an opportunity to. So, yeah, that's kind of like a revolving door right now with all the injuries that we've had.
How much experience do Eskridge and Theo have at that?
Well, not much, but, the biggest thing, D. Eskridge is just such a competitor. You see that out there on offense. You see that out there on special teams with him being a kickoff returner. One thing that we really like about D is, he can run really fast. And when he gets single press, he does a really good job. He ended up causing that fair catch on our very first punt. So those are some of the things that we look at. You've got to be a competitor when you're out there as far as a gunner is concerned, because whether you're getting single press or double press, you got to be able to fight and claw and do whatever you can to get off a double press.
What does a punter have to do to make a Pro Bowl and get votes?
Just continue to be consistent. That's one of the biggest things. I think Jake, obviously had a great year, and still we got 2 more games to go. He's got to continue to hit the ball like he's been doing. But, that's just outside stuff for us. That would be great if that were to happen for him. I know Jake is really focused on winning football games. And then whatever happens after that is just a bonus. And that's what I love about Jake. He's a competitor and that he just wants to win football games.
Greg, I'm looking at Chase McLaughlin, 11 of 11 from 50 plus. I mean, what does that tell you about him? Is that leg strength? Is that accuracy? Is that bailing out the offense? What all goes through your mind when you see
a little bit of everything. I see a guy that has done a really good job here in the past couple of years of being consistent. And when you go 11 for 11 right now and 50 plus, you're talking about a little bit of everything. The leg strength, the accuracy, them having the confidence in his ability to make those type of kicks. That's a really good job for teams that can get 40-yard line or coming close to it and having an opportunity to go and kick 50 pluses. Now, here's the other thing, is the head coach super aggressive on 4th down too? Is he going to go for it, or are they going to, depending on where the game is, do they need 3 points or do they need 7?
Now that the season's almost over, is it your opinion that the rules change allowing the kickers to have their balls all week did in fact have a impact on the percentage of kicks throughout the league and the distance of kicks throughout the league?
Sure. If you're looking at the stats right now, I think it probably did help, which is great. I think the more we can do for specialists, I think that's good. I thought it was a great rule change anyways to allow us to have an opportunity to use the footballs during the course of the week. But, if we continue to look at stats and they helped it out, great for our specialists.